Hey everyone, I wanted to break through the fourth wall here for a second and share a sticking pattern that I've found to be very useful for jazz phrasing, solo phrasing to make it a little more fluid and less blocky. So it's basically just a four-stroke rough, but instead of sticking it with singles, try sticking it with a right, right, left, right. That's basically it. So you can use this in comping. You can also use it in fills in a jazz style. And if you just keep playing the right, right, left, you can turn into like longer phrases. So anyway, I hope this inspires some of you to try it out, and let me know what you think. If you like this, I'll keep doing this kind of thing. So have a happy and safe 4th of July to all my US friends, and everyone else have a great weekend. Continue on the rhythmical theme, and this time I'm going to focus on the paradiddle diddle, which is just right, left, right, right, left, left. So if you play that fast, it becomes this really smooth 3/4 kind of thing. Now, to play that in a jazz context, we're going to go up tempo, and we're going to put the right hand on the ride, left hand on the snare, and we're going to start the paradiddle diddle on beat 2 so it resolves evenly after 4 bars. Now we're going to move the right hand from the ride to the snare, and it kind of gets this Art Blakey kind of feel. And when you move the hands around on the toms as well, it kind of makes it feel like Elvin Jones. And now you can just really let loose and move it all over the kit, more of a solo kind of a vibe. Take a look at the paradiddle and try to breathe some fresh air into it. So the paradiddle is very simply a right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. But if you put that into triplets, use a triplet subdivision, it creates a pretty cool half note triplet feel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, to make the paradiddle sound a little less obvious, you can shift the accent so it's now on the second note of the paradiddle. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. One other thing you can try is starting the paradiddle not on beat 1, but on beat 2. To apply the 5-stroke roll to a 4-bar phrase and then explore some basic orchestration options on the kit. The phrase we're going to use is 2 bars of 5-stroke rolls that end with a quarter note, and then 2 bars of 5-stroke rolls that end with an 8th note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's begin by just moving the 5-stroke rolls from the snare to the floor tom. Now let's end each 5-stroke roll with a bass drum and ride cymbal. And lastly, we're going to replace the last note of each 5-stroke roll with a stick shot. This time we're going to apply the double stroke roll to some up-tempo swings. So the first idea is something that I got from Max Roach, and it's just to break up the double stroke roll between the ride and the drum set. Now I'm going to sweep the right hand between the ride cymbal and the snare and the ride cymbal and the floor tom. Lastly, we're going to kick up the subdivision to triplets and sweep between the ride cymbal and snare and the ride cymbal and the floor tom. This time we're going to explore the Swiss triplet and how it can be applied to some up-tempo swings. So the Swiss triplet is usually played as triplets, and it's a right flam, right, left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But let's change it to eighth notes and then start the switch triplet on the and of beat 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now I'm going to apply that to the kit, and what we're going to do is going to play the first flam between the ride and the snare and everything. This time I'm going to play the note after the flam on the ride. And lastly, we're going to alternate between doing the accent on the snare followed by the cymbal to the accent on the cymbal and snare followed by some sweeping around to the snare and the floor tom. This time I want to show you some ways you can play melodies on the drums. So we're going to take the standard tune, Now's the Time. We're just going to focus on the first 4-bar phrase. So let's check out the original. We're going to start by playing the rhythm of the melody on the snare drum with some basic timekeeping with the feet. Now we're going to add the bass drum into the melody to give it a little bit more shape. Now let's add the swing ride pattern in place. And finally, we're going to try to orchestrate that melody around the kit. Let's apply the 7-stroke roll at the end of a 4-bar phrase. Traditionally, the 7-stroke roll is played as 3 doubles followed by a single. Let's reverse that and start with a tap. Now let's play that in context and start to tap 7 on beat 3 of bar 4. To avoid hitting the 1, we're going to start to tap 7 on beat 2 so it resolves on beat 4. You can make it even more interesting by starting to tap 7 on the and of beat 2, which resolves on the and of beat 4. Take the simple sticking pattern, right, left, kick, and cycle it through a bunch of subdivisions. We're going to start with quarter notes. We're going to go to quarter note triplets. Then we're going to go to eighth notes, eighth note triplets, 16th notes, and then 16th note triplets. And we're going to keep 2 and 4 on the hi-hat the entire time. It'll take 3 measures of 4/4 for each of these to cycle back to beat 1. Take a traditional African 12/8 pattern and morph it into a jazz feel just by adjusting the pulse and the orchestration. We're going to begin by playing the supporting drum pattern on this little conga drum. We're going to outline the pulse with the bass drum, and we're going to play the bell pattern with the rim click. Now let's shift the pulse so it doesn't land on the downbeat, but it lands on the middle triplet of each beat. Here's what it sounds like when you alternate back and forth between the traditional orchestration and the offset pulse with the ride cymbal.